Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Earth Wellness. This is your host, Brooke Berger.
It's recording.
It says, okay.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome,
So
Layla Rose. How are you today?
I'm really, really good. I did yoga in the park. And Brooke, yoga in the park, you know what that's like.
Wow,
So
yoga in the park. I'm really impressed by whenever you do your videos and you talk about doing yoga in the park. I'm like, yes, this is the way to go. And it inspires
yeah.
me. So thank you.
Oh, yay. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I wasn't doing it for so long because I was in such a doing mode, like it's the time to do. And like I realized it just kept slipping away, like that time with nature at the park. So now first thing in the morning, I really prioritize like merging with nature, no reception there, and feeling into my body. And it changes everything. So yeah.
Wow. That
It
is
really does.
so good. So impressive.
Yeah.
So yoga in the park, first thing in the morning. That sounds phenomenal. Have you been doing
Yeah.
any other alchemizing attunement lately that you want to
Yeah.
share?
Yeah. I like switching it up because I feel like when I do something for too long, then it turns into like this like oh, I must do this or so I love switching things up a lot to feel like I'm flexible and I can deal with ebb and flow. So right now what I'm actually enjoying is the first thing I do when I wake up is like I breathe with this square on my wall. Like you can see it right there. There's like a
Wow.
square on my wall over there. Anyway, but
Wow.
it really empowers the root chakra. So if you breathe in 8, hold 8, and hold 8 breaths, exhale 8, and then hold 8, then it empowers the root chakra, and just like for 5 minutes really sets me to center. And then I just read qualities that I'm welcoming into my life, like qualities that I'm open to acknowledging about myself, which was hard for me for years, which is like, oh, I accept that I'm hilarious. I accept that I'm, present, just acknowledging that every morning, which has been a really powerful practice. I did yoga at the park, and I just use all like it's not regular yoga, it's more of like incorporating my inner child. So I use a lot of voice, I make sounds, I hump trees, I follow like my natural flow of my body. And it's been like using also imagination with colors and like doing a lot while I'm doing the yoga. So like using affirmations while I'm stretching, and it's been amazing. And I just feel like 0 point, I have everything I need. And whatever happens from here, from this vibration, is just an echo of already me having everything I need and being connected to my own unique connection to source.
I
That was
love
my little ramble
that.
about the morning.
You're all about the morning, you said?
No, I'm saying that was my little ramble about the morning.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a phenomenal attunement for the morning. I love that you're doing that. That's so inspiring. And I know that the morning is like the best time to rise and set your intentions for the day. And I know it's such a habit to like get on the phone. So I love that you just like are connecting and tuning into yourself and nature. And that's so important for creating your own
Mm-hmm.
reality. And I know that that's what you're all about, being this manifesting, generating of visions and creating your own reality. And so I'd love to talk about that with you. And yeah, the rising
Yes.
in the morning is like the most potent time to attune to that energy. So it seems like you're taking charge of your life and really connecting and
Mm.
tuning in that way, and expanding, and yeah, creating a wonderful life, I see. And you're my
Mm.
friend and sweet soul sister from we know each other from California, from Nevada City, and we met each other at an ecstatic dance, actually, if you remember that one.
Right, we didn't speak. We just had it starting really cute, weird little dances where we'd both start giggling and like
Yeah,
caressing each other's auras.
I feel like when I met you, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, another like just someone that totally gets me and I get you, and there was no words. We're just at an ecstatic dance with music and friends in this beautiful space in Nevada City, California, and I just like saw you and I instantly knew you're such a sister, and I feel like we have so much
Oh,
connection there. And oh yeah, and
that's
and
really nice to know because I thought you were creeped out by me, but I really liked you. But I like we didn't speak, right? And then like you'd have to like I'd have to prep after dance, like help fold up and help prep. So I never got a chance to speak to you. So I thought for the longest time that I creep you out a little, but I really liked you, so I kept coming to you and just like little dances. But yeah,
I
that's
mean, I think maybe what you're picking up on was like, it could have been like nerves or something, because already like I'm in this space of like opening and expanding and like tuning
uh
in to myself. Because if anyone's ever been to an ecstatic dance, it's like a really great opportunity to like really connect within, but it's also that point of being able to like play with another, if someone
mm-hmm.
chooses, and it's consensual. Because I know that was a big talk in our community when we were living there at the time. And I think what
Yeah.
you were probably picking up on was this like stretching of
Mm.
myself, like, because that wasn't really what I was used to dancing with a partner. But the way that you
Mm.
did it was so playful and fun. That's why I was like, yes, like I get just doing that and authenticity and joy and fun, that I think I was like in maybe more of like a serious mood, and it just kind of like stretched me. And I remember like going through spurts of feeling like maybe awkward, which is like super awesome because that's when we
Awkward's
grow.
the new orgasm.
What is it?
Awkward is the new orgasm.
Yes. I feel like, I don't know if it was something that you were talking about recently, like talking about vulnerability also in that way, like maybe
Yeah.
authenticity, vulnerability, but those are such beautiful places. So you're probably picking up on a little bit of that, stretching me outside of my comfort zone, which was like the best.
I loved it.
That was so
I
powerful.
I
Because
always loved
after,
dancing with you.
yeah, and then I feel like I remember we were just like on the floor, like hugging and cuddling and like laughing with each other. And still there was like no words shared really, other than like maybe animal sounds or something, which was so amazing.
Wow. You
But
realize that
yeah,
that's how we became friends. That's
that's how
so
we became
awesome.
friends. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, there were just some really sweet, magical times with you, and you're so special. And I'm so happy to have you on the show today. And it's been like
Oh.
such a dream come
Oh.
true to have this show actualized, but to have you on the show, you're the first person that I'm recording an interview with, and I'm just so stoked because, like I said before, you're so special, and I'm so excited. Oh, your cheeks.
I'm gonna
All
rock
of
in
us
my
are
rocking
just
chair.
during the
Watch out, I'm not wearing
recording.
panties. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I
Yeah.
am wearing panties. I'm wearing panties. It's fine.
It's okay.
Yay. You're
You
my
know.
first podcast, Brooke. You're my first podcast. I've been dreaming about doing a podcast with a friend that I resonate with so deeply. So it's such a beautiful, juicy receiving of a wish coming true. We're doing it. We're doing
Wow.
it together. And there's so much, medicine and doing these virtual things like with intention and letting the medicine echo out through this like virtual world to all these people. Like, I feel like I forget that there's a whole world out there and a whole planet. And I know that all the medicine I received was from podcasters like you, like people like contacting people and helping share and building platforms. And that literally saved my life. Like I had nobody around me that agreed with anything I was feeling or experiencing. And my medicine was through magic of the internet, through podcasters, through interviews that somehow just showed up. Like I wasn't a big internet geek, so I don't even know how these people came into my life. But there was this one podcaster that just like saved my life, Lauren Gailey, and she would interview all these beings from all over the planet and share different experiences, different knowledge, different information about healing and rebirth. So what you're doing is so valuable, and I'm so yes-anding what you're doing. It's yay! It's delicious to be here.
Wow. Thank you for
Yeah.
articulating all of that. And it's so powerful what podcasts have assisted you with, and so many more. And I'm so excited to be sharing this platform, and really, really happy that you're with us today, especially after that meant so much to you. That's so powerful. And Yeah, I've heard friends for years listening to podcasts, and I've listened to a few, and recently the network that we're on for this podcast for Cosmic Earth Wellness, which is my show that's now airing on a friend's two friends of mine. They're a couple, CeeLo and Shannon Shine. They have the project. Well, it's actually not a project. It's actually the Bring Me to Life network now, and so that's where this is going to be airing along with my own website and where we would like to share this. So yeah, so this is Shannon interviewed me on one of her podcast series, Awakening with the Girls, which is talking to a lot of women talking about their awakening. And I just felt really inspired after that. She asked if I wanted to have a podcast show on the Bring Me to Life network, and I was just like, yes, this has been a dream forever.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, and
Great.
when I was and this was maybe just a few months ago, so when I was in my mind, tuning into and my heart and my whole being, my whole soul tuning into who to have on the show, there were so many names, but you came up very strong to have you on. And so it just worked out perfectly today on what is it, August 13th. So the 13th is the number of the goddess, and I just have this like super
Oh, really?
13, it's like been masked by the toxic patriarchal system, and it's like it could be a whole episode in itself, but it was tainted as demonic and really terrible. But really it's the number of the goddess, and it's this really powerful number that's like super potent and activates this like amazing feminine energy. And that's what I see you as. I mean, your name is Layla Rose. It's like Sisterhood of the Rose, like the Magdalene lineage, the highest vibrational flower essence. It's like you to have this as like part of your name, and I just feel like you're such a goddess, because you have this like beautiful feminine and masculine personality, where you have the feminine of that seed of creation, where you actually you're living in your creative flow and center, and you're just like constantly reworking your reality. It's like, okay, I like this, I don't like this is what I'm gonna do. And you're tuned into like creativity and play and joy, and this is totally perfect for the goddess energy and that masculine energy, where you actually do the things that you're passionate about and love. And like I always see you with your workshops and classes, and you just have people attending and going to them, and it's like you put it out there to the people, and they're so right there to go to your workshops and classes. So yeah, and I'm just so interested to hear well, I know, but I want everyone to know what is it that you are up to, and what is it that you're doing in this world, if you want to share some of that with us.
Yeah. So first of all, my Jewish calendar birthday is 13. So that's really cool. I never know there was any significance to 13. So thank you for that bit of information. This is the best start to a podcast ever. I'm loving this, Brooke. I'm really loving it. First of all, thank you for all those beautiful words. It really feels amazing to be acknowledged and seen. And I feel like that's how we co-create a new story together. Like when we acknowledge seeing and giving attention and putting into words, like reflecting an aspect of each other. That's like the first rule of improv, is yes anding your partner. And that's how you co-create a skit. It's how you co-create a game. It's how you co-create life. So you just seeing and acknowledging, and like your few words of like, wow, she sees that intention, and it's like so empowering, and like breaks all illusion of any other projection that might be coming my way for myself and others. And so thank you for being a yes and buddy and seeing that in me. And and yeah, it's worth gold. So yes. Okay. So what I'm doing is practicing being and allowing all the doings to unfold from my natural being. So that's the first thing about everything it's doing. That's like my main intention recently is I envision an earth where all beings are waking up in the morning, following their heart, fully knowing that they're fully supported by source to be their unique aspect of source, their unique expression of source, their unique way of being, their unique way of expressing, and to be fully supported financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, and to feel that it's okay to live in ease, grace, and joy, that it's natural. So I've been in this process for a few years now, since I stopped. I haven't worked a full-time job in like 6 years, and the journey has been so beautiful and so scary, and my mantra has always been like, if this works for me, I'm going to tell the whole world about it. And so I can finally say that now I am trusting more than ever. Magic has been happening. It's so easy and graceful. I wake up with an open, excited heart, and I used to pray for that for days, to like want to do juicy work, want to be excited about work. I always had this pain about what work is. And now, like when I say work, I need to work like a juicy work. It's like exciting. And so it feels amazing. So that's like the main intention, is like not, I always come back to how am I being, rather than like, what am I doing? And I just want to share that in words for anybody out there who is trying to like step into their next version of themselves and live the life of their dreams. For me, what personally has been a major key is it's okay to just be. And then it's okay to trust source. It's okay to ask for guidance, and it's okay to be in your yin, because if I wake up in the morning and I'm in my yang, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this and this and this and this, then it's all based on control. It's like a very loopy reality. And so the main thing that has been the main seed of all the branches that are blooming, which I can share, I didn't expect to answer in this way, but apparently it needs to be said.
It's
I'm just channeling.
This is so perfect. No, this is like the
okay.
best. This is the best. Thank you
okay,
so
great.
much. No, keep
I
going.
just like, because I could talk about what I'm doing, but it's all comes from being. And I feel like,
So perfect.
that's the main medicine that's needed for a lot of beings on the planet, since we're all forced into being. We're kind of all forced into going into the quantum realm, which is the quarantine. We're all going into isolation more, and it's a really valuable gift, because it's just really expanding our yin, which is, the yin is just a space, a void. We perceive it as dark, we perceive it as scary, but actually that is the fruit, the juicy mud. That's where the seeds are. And if we just rest and settle into that, then the branches naturally grow, the rain naturally comes. And that's what the earth is calling for now, to be earth, for us to be in our earth element, which is just being. And if we trust that more, we trust it like a rock sinking endlessly into a bottomless ocean, and we assist one another, we yes and each other's just being, not ask what are you doing, how are you being, how is your being, then we can all amplify the safe space to rebirth through for each other. So it's really important to share stories. It's really important to network online so people can feel safe to trust, because the only reason I felt safe to trust was because of podcasters, people on the internet. I believe a lot of like bridgers of reality, like such as yourself and me, people that are really passionate about bridging different consciousnesses, bridging into unity consciousness, bridging into new ways, new timelines, new frequencies, new ways of being, new thought patterns, is that we've been scattered around the earth, so we can so we can learn the density, grow from it, and then share. So the internet is just encouraging everybody to share their story and to share their just beingness, and that can lead into your juicy work, into your doing. So shall I share about what it is?
So perfect. Yeah, it goes so perfectly with like what this show is about, like why the intention of why we're here talking about these things, and that goddess, that feminine masculine energy, and yes, or whatever else, and we can elaborate on that too.
Cool. I mean, it really isn't a new age thing. It's actually ancient technology. It's like what we did in the pyramids. It's what our ancestors, like, that's what magic is. The word magic is like used for basically, when you don't understand the science of it, but when you learn true science, like, quantum physics, like the real mathematics of how the universe works, because it's all equations, it's all puzzles, then it's like natural magic. And they're just all these old programs that just need to be felt in the yin and let go and die. And there's all this judgment about pain, like, I'm in pain, I don't want to feel pain, I'm gonna go to the doctor and fix it. I gotta fix it. fixing problems, very masculine. And now the earth is calling into yin, into death, into rebirth. And death is a beautiful rebirth. It's a choice. It's it's a transformation. And pain is a pulse of passion. It's like the pulse. It's not suffering. And so my mission is to change our responses to these states of being that are actually our greatest treasures, to assist people with welcoming in pain and welcoming in feeling and welcoming in being and welcoming in playing basically with this. And when people hear play, they're like, oh yeah, play, silliness, which is a whole thing. Like there is a science to silliness and how to hack our own system through play and imagination, which is a whole thing. But the first base is like, yeah, like changing our response to pain and letting old programs die that aren't our own, and taking time to do that, taking time to wake in the morning and imagining, what would you like your life to be like? What would you like it to feel like? And just playing in imagination like little kids do. And so, oh, wow, there's so much to share. But my main mission, which is a branch growing now, has been for years, and now it's really coming into fruition, is assisting people with tapping into their inner child and turning it into a child body. So letting out that inner child that's in a cage and not like having conversations, but like embodying our child body, our light body, which is everything we knew as a child. We have it in our DNA. So I just love being there to help people remember that they have it within them. They don't need to learn anything. They are their unique puzzle piece. And so to help remember that it's okay to imagine and play. And there are all these judgments about it. There's like, oh, don't bypass. Oh, be logical. Oh, you don't know what's happening on the news. But if you really want to change the world, then change the way you see the world. That's been my experience. So yeah, I'm just doing like sessions and online play shops and lives and comedy, and it's all branches to co-creating an online community for remembering the technologies of our inner child, the power of imagination, the power of play, the power of curiosity, how it cancels out anxiety immediately, and how silliness is a way to hack the survival brain because we're just playing, so it feels safe. There's nothing to be kept safe from, and then we're able to just be silly and be play, and then we create new neural pathways and new ways of responding to life, new video games. And I just love being there for people to rebirth their inner child. But I can talk about this for hours, so I'm going to stop for a moment.
Well,
Brooke, reflections.
That was just so beautiful. I love everything that you stand for and are about, and the fact that you brought up that whole beingness and that leading and really being in that beingness for then the doing to happen. It's like attuning ourselves to our true authentic self by just being and letting go through that yin energy to move slower, or to allow that space of receiving in our truth and messages. And this is a lot of yogis will teach also, like, lead with the left side, which is the feminine, like start with the left side and then move to the right, which is the masculine. And there's definitely Kabbalistic reasons as well of receiving in that energy and of on the left side and on the feminine side and with the masculine. So yeah, this definitely helps create this unified field of consciousness to move freer and more flowing through our body than it does to just automatically like go because we're not thinking. We're not fully thinking in that place, and we're just on automatic. And I love that, because that really is the space that joy and authentic truth and freedom can be from. So this is so resonant to what I feel is true. And I love that you said that, and it's so perfect that you said that, because I guess the way that I phrased it was what are you up to and all these things, and like for you to have that as your response is like beyond perfect. And I really appreciate that, bringing that to the table. So yes, because that's very, very, very important. And I think that in that place is where the joy can really stem from, tuning into our inner child, like you were saying, and activating that part of us. So I know you do workshops and classes, and you tune into these places. Do you want to share a little bit about what these classes and workshops are? And
Yeah. I
okay.
call them play shops, even though play shops have this like sexual connotation. I mean, sexual for me is actually just like creative life force. So it's not, I like using the word play shop. So, because it's all about playing. And a lot of the times, like people are surprised when they come to a play shop because of the depth that we dive into. And the truth about play is when we realize, I mean, it's all from my personal perspective. What I'm saying, nothing is the ultimate truth. This is me sharing my disclaimer, unique puzzle piece that only I am, and I'm here to be the portal that I am to pop open your portal. And that's what we do to one another. Like I just want to make a note that we're each other's doulas. We're helping each other rebirth our innocence, rebirth our inner child, create a safe space, echoing our truth, and yes, ending each other's games to co-create a new game, to co-create heaven on earth. So it's so valuable that even if somebody doesn't agree with you, just express your truth and you can make a disclaimer. It's only my truth. So the way I perceive play is that when I began to play with my perspective, when I was healing depression, whatever, like that's not the correct term, but I'll just say that for
Right.
now, is I began playing with my thoughts, and I began playing with the way I'm perceiving reality. I began dancing in parks. I began asking questions and basically doubting everything. And once I realized how malleable reality is and how free we are, a lot of pain came up because there was a lot to acknowledge. There was a lot of, unity consciousness is a process. It's not, oh, we're all one. Let's like wear tutus and drink mimosas. Like that's a little experience. It's not what unity consciousness and fully empowered creator beings is like. It's actually like owning our power, like reclaiming our power as a sovereign creator being. And so within the play shops, there's usually a set format. There is using the art of silliness to hack our survival brain or what keeps us separate, because when we're just being silly, the survival brain goes and takes a nap. This is just my personal experience. It's like, oh, they're just playing. So like, I don't understand silliness. It's not logical. I'm just going to take a nap now. And then we break boundaries, like intentionally, like yawning in each other's faces and shoving fingers up your nose, or like making weird, just the most basic things, and knowing it's for a purpose. And when the brain knows it's for a purpose, it like values something. So first we open up through silliness, and then we tap into just shape shifting with our body, like giving all our attention to our feet, and like just different ways of moving, different ways of experiencing motion, because our body is our GPS, it's our spaceship, and has an immediate effect on our external reality. And that can be really scary to face. So it's just very playful. We like move into Laban movement usually, or, like isolating, just moving in different ways. And we tap into vocal expression beyond English words, call it gibberish play usually. And we just like really go back to our inner child gradually and set ourselves at a 0 point together and create a safe space. And then, we, through imaginative play, just like a child imagines that they're Superman and they feel it in their bodies, or like, I'm a princess. And they walk around like, Mommy, make me an ice cream. I'm a princess. And like their whole body changes. So we have these inner technologies to play with and actually change your reality. And we were told it's a waste of time. We were told, oh, you're just wasting time. You're not playing. You're not sitting on your hard
It's
seat at
okay.
school and staring at a blackboard. And oh, you're wasting time. Like, but this is actually like our chemical tools that we were born with. And that's what can actually shift reality into a higher octave and way of being. So we play with all that. We play with our imagination to tap into our heart center, and what is the heart center like. And then usually we play with pain. So there's usually some form of a little death and acknowledging that pain and responding to it differently, because that pain carries all your power. From my experience, when I work with people, they're like, oh, this big boo-boo, or this big physical ailment, or this big chronic illness or mental disease. Like once we just face it and we like acknowledge how free we are to respond differently and how powerful all these tools of imagination and play can be, because they experience the shift, then there's a safety to face the pain in a new way. And so we dive really deep into pain and play with it. And usually what happens is that pain turns into Kundalini life force and turns into this orgasmic experience. And not everybody,
Wow.
it's not for people that aren't ready, because a lot of people are attached to stories and they're like, you better not take my disease away, better not take my pain away. So I usually work with people that are like ready to die, because it's letting a whole story die. Like once you acknowledge how free you are, it could be very scary. And a lot of aspects of you could die because you're like awake to a whole new reality. It's like taking, imaginary acid. And so, but you can't blame the acid because you didn't take the acid. So you have it in you. So you're like, oh my God, it just could be very overwhelming for the system. So it's really important that people feel safe, and we usually dive into pain. And then we embody our avatars, usually our higher next version of us, and regulate that in the body and find ways to remember that aspect. And there are many different kinds of online play shops based on what I feel called to share. So like next week, I'm going to do like your inner lover, like all about it, bringing in that like ultimate romantic relationship within your body, and then allowing the universe to reflect it. So I feel a lot of people are dealing with that now, like with change of relationship, or what love is, or what a relation is, or like a lot of people feel like they have to give up on their vision of what love is, because so I'm feeling called now to like base the whole play shop on that. So I choose different topics and then co-create with the people in the group, and I'm kind of like the BDSM for the inner child, kind of. That's what people told me. It's like, you do inner child BDSM, because
Wow.
just love pulling people into it, and yes, ending them, embracing their powerful freedom, their innocence, their ability to like be a full-on creator being in human form, awake. And that's my vision. Like every time I remember coming back to earth, it's like I'm coming back to earth because I want to co-create with awakened co-creator beings. Like I don't want to live in a world where I'm a guru or famous or like any of that. I want to be on an earth where I can look at somebody in the eye and they will see what I see, and we will co-create reality, like one moment at a time, to be a point for 0 point play, freedom. Like no need to go to the desert and Burning Man, because you can burn your man right here and do whatever you want. And so it's been happening,
I
like
love
people with
it.
yourself. But
Wow.
that was a long ramble, but you asked for it, Brooke.
No,
So
this is honestly everything that you're saying is so spot on to what
mm,
I know that you share, and just and
mm,
hearing you share this with everyone that's listening, and sharing with me in the ways that you are. I mean, this is so powerful for my awakening, and I hope that
mm,
others and I know they will resonate with this. And I just
mm,
really appreciate all of what you've shared and expressed. And I feel like we really speak into existence our reality, like I know you talk about
mm-hmm,
as well. And by living it and being it and all these things, and it really, by you talking and today, and all of the videos that you share and the things that you share in person through comedy skits at open
mm,
mics that I've seen, or whatever the case may be. I mean, that reflection awakens me on a deep level. So I'm really
ah,
thankful that you can share and express yourself so well, and
ah.
actually bring this to the table to assist people, because that inner spark, that inner child and joy and play is so important for a healthy world and a healthy interdependent beings to live in
Yeah.
a free, sovereign, interdependent way. So I resonate with this,
Mm.
and I'm so happy for you to share this, and thank you. And
Yay.
yeah, so this is wonderful that you do these play shops, and I know you've gone to festivals and gatherings and done those there, brought play shops to festivals in person, and also now a lot online. You've been sharing a lot of videos online, and
Mm.
sometimes they're extremely funny, and sometimes they're a little bit more on the serious side. And you always seem to be able to weave this silliness in play, wherever in whatever way. no matter if it's in person or from a video that you share. And also, I remember when we were in Nevada City, you were always doing the open mics, and that was really great with your comedy skits, and you just had everybody laughing. And it's like, no matter what mood any of us were in ever, it was just the coziest, most sweetest situation for our
Oh.
friends to gather and just like sit on the floor or on chairs. Just honestly, we all felt like little kids. I feel like all of us we would just laugh so
Yes!
hard at all of the things that you said, and it was just so adorable, us getting cozy and just listening to you.
Oh.
And it was so funny, the skits that you had. And I feel like maybe you thought of topics or knew somewhat of what you were saying, but I feel like a lot of them were also just free flowing skits that you had, which always blew my mind and
Aw.
was so powerful. So yeah, you're really tuning into this a lot, because we see
Mm.
you in so many different parts of play, through creating song and free flowing expression, and then
Mm.
also holding space for others as they move through their own journeys in play shop settings. So this is
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. And yeah,
Yay. Yeah,
yeah,
can I say something about the free flow stuff? Like
yeah,
why so like it's been a really awkward process for me. Now it feels more and more safe, but like, each of us when we figure out what is my unique expression, what does me just being look like, what does my sovereign creation look like? So for me it was like I really felt my heart was called for the imperfection. Like if I would like write down exactly what I was going to do at open mic, it felt dead, and mentally it sounded good to me and it looked hilarious on paper, but there was no connection with the people around me. And like when I edit a video, it almost feels like less alive or less medicinal for humans. So I realized like, okay, for me, I guess I just need to be imperfect and raw. Even the way I'm like birthing myself online right now, it's really imperfect. I'm creating more structure now, which I can share at the end about, but the whole process has felt very awkward. And that's why I say, like, since we're all a puzzle, like we're all one perfect puzzle of perfection of source, and source broke down into different puzzle pieces so there can be a game to play. And each one of us is a totally unique, different puzzle piece. And I feel, from my personal experience, that as we're expanding into our unique puzzle piece, it could feel awkward because it's totally different than everybody else. And nobody is going to be there in that moment where you need to be courageous and accept yourself. It kind of feels like being crucified, like Jesus, like, I'm love. I'm doing this out of love. It could feel very uncomfortable. It can feel very painful, and it can feel very awkward, but afterwards it feels orgasmic. So I'm a huge advocate of moving through playfully. I call it emotional alchemy, through awkward, like embodying awkward, embodying anxiety, embodying, and together, like playfully sharing those shadows with each other. We're so trained to like, oh, when you're perfect, come see your friends. When you're all dressed up, come see. I started making videos and I would actually intentionally look horrible. I don't know. You can look at my videos at the beginning, like, I just want to be me. And like, there's something beautiful about just being there for you while you're birthing through your imperfection, because your imperfection is your unique gift. Like that's what the earth needs. And the more you trust and the more you willing to do it out of pure love, then the magic happens. The like scientific, logical way of natural nature. It's like, yes, just be you, because that's what source wants. Source wants to experience you as you are in every moment, and everything else creates suffering, not the opposite. It's like we're really at a time where we're letting programs die. That's why all this is happening. Like, let all that shit go, and don't go see a doctor if you're feeling not well. I'm serious. Like, be your own master. Like, ask, why am I feeling this right now? Like, I felt really sick an hour ago. That I couldn't hop on the call, and I could have, like, if my brain were to say, oh, something's wrong with you, I was just like, oh, I'm moving energy, and like, whoop, I just passed out for a bit and I feel more alive than ever. So be your own master. I just want to encourage everybody, be your own master, like be your own guide, be your own guru, be your own, like all we can do is help each other remember who we are as we're being more ourselves. So just, yeah, the imperfection, the freestyle, the awkward, it's all just as it's meant to be. That's why I'm a huge advocate of the imperfection, because imperfection is I'm perfect.
Imperfection is
basically.
I am perfect.
If you add a little dash, it's I'm perfect.
Oh, I love that. That's playful in itself, a play on words and all these things. This is wonderful. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just really appreciate your bravery for showing up in the way that you do, because you actually show up and and record these videos and get up in front of many people and put forth the whole skit, and it's that's very brave to be able to do that. So I could understand how that awkwardness or those feelings of being uncomfortable can actually just totally rework and rewire you and stretch you out of your comfort zone to go to the next level and
Yeah. And it
to
gets really comfortable afterwards.
it gets comfortable afterwards. Yeah, like where you probably thrive off of it maybe, or I mean
You
that's
just feel like you're one with everybody. So like
that's wonderful.
yeah, once you deal with, people hated me at open mic, and some people, they were like, I felt like the things that I triggered in them, or like I got hate messages on Facebook, like you're crazy. And once I dealt with that, then I was like, wow, I'm actually really doing it out of pure love. And I feel like all the manifestations of judgment or like people thinking you're crazy or whatever path you're on, that's only reflections of your own subconscious. And once those are released, and you move through it, you feel the pain, you let it be, you like just trust endlessly and be there for yourself, be your own lover, then the universe just reflects back to you. Yeah, of course we're all one. What do you want to dream about, babe? Like, what do you want support with? Like, you're the GPS. And so it's not like saying like, oh, the journey's really hard. Like everything gets easier. It's the same sensations, but you're like, oh, I always feel like I did something stupid after recording a video. I always feel like I didn't say everything I wanted to say. I always feel like I didn't look perfect. I always, there are always those voices, but they're just part of this whole quantum field. And the fruits are so delicious that you trust more and more.
No,
So I really encouraging everybody to be awkward and like take chances. And I don't know what that looks like for you because I'm only my puzzle piece, but yeah, you're
yeah,
doing it, Brooke.
I love you. Thank you. We yes, we are, and
We all doing it.
it's so amazing because we when we were in person, living in California in close quarters, our friends were just like just totally weird. I don't know how else to explain it. They're just like their own
They
unique
still
self.
are.
They still are, and I love it. And it's like we had some really amazing people. It's like your vibe attracts your tribe, and we really have some amazing friends that are just like totally waving their weird flag and being their authentic self. And it might look messy at times. It could look whatever the case may be, but in the end, really, it's our own claiming of that freedom and sovereignty to be our true authentic self that I really that resonates for me, and I know for you that's something that you've talked a lot about, and yeah, claiming that freedom and authentic sovereignty, and with that we can then choose what we're creating in our reality, which is why I love how you share this freedom of expression and truth through alchemy and play. And I love how you talk about neuroplasticity and rewiring the brain, and this is how we can take these quantum leaps to be on our highest timeline. And I love that you use alchemy in your name of your, what do you have alchemy in the name? I know it's on Instagram, your Layla Rose Alchemy.
Yeah.
But what
I was
else?
debating about the word alchemy, but
I think it's great. I think it's great. Well, I love it because I mean, when we are playful and silly, we go to that higher, lighter level, and we can release that dense energy. So
yeah, it becomes more malleable.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is Play-Doh. And then that's what alchemy is, like turning things into something else, like turning whatever into gold, turning this situation, this pain into something else. Like it's And it's all about play, alchemy for me. Like, that's when my world shifted. I don't know if I just cut you off. I'm sorry if I
Oh
did.
my gosh, no, this is perfect. I love this.
Awkward.
No, that was
Awkward.
perfect.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This is, it's all, no, it was
Okay.
exactly like what you said. Is it went so well with, yes, this back and forth
Perfect. We
of
can't
what
help but be
we're talking
perfect,
about.
Brooke.
I love
Can't
it.
help it.
We're wonderful, and I just adore you.
We're so amazing. We're just so cool. And
Well,
everybody watching this, you're like so cool.
we
Like,
are
it's
also,
deadly.
and this is what I would love to, yeah, just say right now, that I mean, our words are creating our reality and our mindset. So it's like, why not think that we're awesome and great? Like, we've come here with these beautiful divine missions, and I sure know that you would jump on board with that. I mean, I feel like you really encourage people to be that creative expression of themselves. And yeah, awkward is a real thing, and it's so beautiful and expansive that it actually just becomes like the new way that we can choose to be of that authentic expression, even if it's
Yeah.
awkward and weird.
Yeah, even just stating, like, if you're feeling awkward, I've been using it nonstop. Like, I'll be like, this is awkward, like with humans, because we actually relate through vulnerability and through our shadows and through weakness, not through our, like, that also, but like what makes us human is like relating, like our human experience, just sharing it. And awkward, if you think about it, what does awkward feel like? It's an energy. It's just all comes down to pure energy. And weird, like all these words in English, especially if we're talking about language and words, there are a lot of like these judgment words that label energies that are like life force energies into something that they're not. Like weird is actually like, we think weird is like supernatural powers. Insane, when I think insane, I feel like I'm in my most insanity, like I'm insanity, like they're like awkward is just like, it's just an energy, and the more comfortable we feel with it, like it's okay, I'm gonna feel awkward now, like do an awkward meditation, be awkward with friends, express your heart, and then be like, this is awkward, are you willing to be awkward with me? And then go full fledged on awkward, and you'll see how it really does, it turns into this like life force, because when we resist things, they persist. Like, I don't want to feel awkward, then you're going to be running from awkward your whole life, and everything's going to feel awkward and you're not going to enjoy it. Or, oh, I don't want to feel pain, so you're going to be like looping, and so welcoming in all aspects of life, all colors of the rainbow, allows us to become who we really are, which is everything. It's all the colors. We're meant to experience all the things. We're meant to feel compassion for all beings. We're meant to play all the parts. Like Layla yoga, it's like all about playing different aspects of source for each other. So like, I just want to say that, oh, where did my thought go? It ran away with a cup of tea or maybe cocoa, but is to, yeah, just like, I don't remember. I'm blacked out now.
Well, it's
What was I
perfect. Please jump
saying?
in if you think of it. But I love what you were saying about the rainbow. I think it's Gabrielle Bernstein. She's a motivational speaker and spiritual
Yeah.
guru and life coach. Yeah, and she one time said, "I have a rainbow of emotions, and they're all leading me to my best and highest truth." And
Yeah.
so being okay with this rainbow of spectrum of emotions, and I feel like all that energy that you were talking about, it's like it's really just energy, everything, and all of these emotions that we're having, and being able to channel them is so important, and not having this judgment of ourselves, especially when we're being awkward or in these new spaces of our stretching ourselves beyond
Yeah.
maybe our old notions or what we thought were our limits, and expanding ourselves and our creative expression. And so being able to like put that mindset of non-judgment of ourselves, and being okay when we do judge ourselves, and moving through that, and being able to channel that, and coming back to that space of love. And I think by
Yeah.
stretching ourselves, that's when we actually are able to even love and appreciate
Yeah.
ourselves even more. So
Yeah. Sharing for me has been like a huge thing. Like, okay, I'm willing to like, because the more we remember how one we are, then the more the heart cracks open, and when it's done from like, you know, the word service is so overused. I feel like it, like almost our brain is shutting out, but like really when it's like, wow, I'm one with everybody. Like what gift will I let echo after I pass on to other worlds? Like, what is it that I am willing to die for and express? Like, what is that thing that, you know, even if not in this lifetime, next lifetime, like live by that. And that will override all awkwardness, all projections that people place upon you. I've been so much projections this year. And like every time it opened my heart, I'm like, no, this is the love that I am. I love so much that I'm not willing to give up no matter who thinks what, and no matter what challenges come up, and no matter what my brain tells me I should be doing in this morning. And because my love is overriding all of it. And that sharing expands. Like when you share that through that imperfection, it creates trust because magical things happen. So if I make, you know, like just following that heart pulse, like heart pulse, so you can call it channeling, you can call it heart pulse, you can call it guidance. Everybody experiences it differently, but we all know what that feels like when it feels like all of me is here and this is happening now. And to trust that when the wish is, the intention is to share, it gets us out of like, what do I look like? What am I, what will they think? What will happen? Will I have, will I not have? Like that overrides all of it. It's like the high spectrum of life experiences, this like ultimate, we're one with all, like we're all our greatest gift for one another. And like, we can serve each other and trust that we'll always be provided for. That overrides all of it because the frequency, it's like playing a low note and then playing a high note. And like sometimes notes will override notes. And it's all music. So when we play these octaves of reality in these games, like the other games are just forgotten, like because our attention creates reality. Our attention and intention are the most valuable currencies. It's the AI.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
So wonderful. Yes. It really makes me think of when you're talking about, it's like, what is your why? Like why have you come here? Like what is your mission, and what are you passionate about and inspired by? So I remember the time that we had a same job as each other. You actually helped me get this job.
Right.
We were emailing for a woman who, she's what is she, like a life coach or
business abundance coach or something? Let's not say her name.
Abundance. Okay, yeah. So we were emailing people and talking about like, what is your dream, and what, like wouldn't it be amazing to wake up every day and just live your greatest dream? But you and I, we really got to talk about this a lot and share what we were supporting people in through these emails with people, and just even in our own life at the time, I feel like we were really talking about this a lot. So it's like, like,
it
what
was so funny. It was so paradoxical. Wait, what were we gonna ask?
Yeah, and just being able to that was something that we talked about, being able to wake up every day and just be in your authentic place and live your dreams, and just know that in these places of tuning into your passions and purpose, this is where the abundance really flows. So I really appreciate you being this in the world and sharing your music and your creative play and expression. And yeah, I'm just curious, like what are your passions, if you were to say some, and what is your mission, if you were to condense it into even a sentence or two?
Into the English language.
Into the English language, or you could say it with sounds. I mean, I know
I can say it with sounds.
You could say it with sounds, however you feel inspired. A song, whatever.
Move, dance. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna rewind before I do that. I know it's probably naughty, but I love naughty. Just a little thing about that job. What was really interesting was that was the last job I worked for, like somebody like in a setting, and I was so torn because the job was so perfect. I can work whenever I want. I can like work as many hours as I want, and it was like for good intention. But as I was writing these messages to people, I was like, oh my god, like I need to practice. The more I was speaking my truth through emails and texts, I was like, I'm not doing like. So as the more I worked for, I couldn't work for anymore, because the more I shared those words, talking about the power of word, like, don't you want to wake up every morning? I was basically talking to myself, and I just couldn't work anymore. My body wouldn't let me work at the computer, and I'm like, Am I being lazy? Am I like not being grateful? I'm losing a job. It's like an online job. I can do it from anywhere. Like, oh my God, I can grow with them. And my heart just was not, and I hated myself for not being able to work that job. And this is just because I do feel like a lot of people that can resonate with it. Like sometimes it's just, you need to like follow that heart and not know. It's not like that for everybody, that we know what the next step is and we're going to gracefully move into that. A lot of times there's chaos and then the heart opens and then the new path comes to you once you trust enough. So that's just a little side note.
Well,
But I
yeah,
feel
and
like
just
really
to say something, because we can get back to my question, but I feel like that's so
okay.
important what you said, actually, because I feel like we have these jobs and we have these opportunities as stepping stones, and sometimes they're there so we can assist others, because you were really good at writing those emails, and I love doing them as well, and talking with people and being able to inspire them in the ways of tuning into their passions and their purpose and their dreams. And I feel like that's what shows up sometimes, just what is wanting to reflect back to us, because life is an echo. So it really makes such beautiful sense that that was one part of a step in our journey for doing that. And I know that you later left the position because you wanted to open up that space for your own self to grow more. And it was interesting that when it was time for my position with that to be done, it just actually, the position fell away and it wasn't needed anymore. And then it naturally created this space and opening for us. So I think that what you said is really powerful, because being able to say this to others and support others was so powerful. And props to you for doing that, because I know you impacted many people, I'm sure, and inspired many. And then it was just, it's like we outgrow situations sometimes. We're meant to move to the next level. So
yeah, and I mean, a lot of, I don't know, like for me, it's always been let go and trust. And I was holding on to that job for so long, and I was like, I could do this and do my passion. That's what my mind was telling me, but that's not how I work. I've always had to fully surrender and trust. And that is when I tap into. So if anybody's experiencing, like, the mind doesn't like it, your survival brain will not like it. It doesn't make sense. Like, everybody will echo the logical reality back to you, even your best friends. Like, you are your own master, you are your own guru. And one tool that's really valuable that can help with this, I'll just add on cherry on top. Lee Harris has shared a tool, one of my favorite teachers online. He shared this tool that like changed my life. It's like called the intuition check-in, because like, how do you make a right decision, especially when there's no right or wrong decision? Am I my mind, am I my heart? What is my heart? So it's basically just thinking, let's say you have two options: to leave the job, not to leave the job. Beyond all the stories and logic, pros and cons that can last endlessly, and you'll be looping in hell forever. And why be in hell when you can dive deeper and find heaven beneath hell? Anyway, but it's called I don't know, I call it the intuition game. I don't really know what he calls it, I forgot. But basically, you think of two options, you close your eyes. Should I stay in the job? And you see how your body feels for 30 seconds. And you notice the bodily sensations, not the thoughts like, okay, I'm feeling tight, I'm feeling weak, okay. And then you compare it, you do the other one for 30 seconds. How does my body feel leaving the job? Okay, what felt lighter? Why would you want to go towards a reality where your body will get tighter? That's dis-ease. So a lot of times your mind will be like, no, don't spend $500 on that. Or yeah, you should spend $500. Like, the mind doesn't know. The mind is like supposed to like help us cut a cucumber and help us drive a car. It's not meant to manage eternity and your endless evolution. It's the poor little child, think of it. So like, this is a practice that's really helped me. Like, and now I just make decisions a lot more easily, because you just feel immediately, your body becomes a GPS. Like, you're moving towards lightness, you're moving towards ease, you're moving towards grace, and it begins the body, and your body is super, super, super intelligent. And it's not always what the mind thinks. Like, sometimes it is good that you eat pizza, because something in that is like accepting and loving and like alchemizing a memory. Like, there is no right or wrong. And like, there is no ultimate, like, you know, so many people get lost in loops of what right is. Like, yoga every day for, if I don't do that, then I'm a, like, that is not what we're moving toward. We're moving toward magic, lightness, ease, grace, joy. So that's a little invitation to like practice with what your intuition is telling you.
Yes.
I couldn't hold that in. I had to share it because I love that.
Please, it
exercise,
makes
and it's changed my
so
life.
yes, and it makes so much sense to these like quantum leaps that we mentioned before. It's like
Hmm.
this is how we can up level ourselves instead of staying stuck and stagnant. It's like what feels going
Uh-huh.
tuning into this space of intuition and tuning into what our highest excitement and joy is and
Yeah. And
making
that's natural.
choices.
It's natural.
Yeah, most definitely. And something that used to, hold me back from making these choices that you touched on and explained so beautifully with how they feel in your body and what really is true to us. It's like someone once said, there instead of making a decision, it's really empowering to say making choices. So it's like, what is our
Mm.
highest excitement and choice?
Yeah,
And
decision sounds so heavy. Decision,
yeah, what's your
decision.
decision? What are you going to do today? Okay. So, but yeah, but when it's like our choice and we're creating this reality, it's exciting and it can be just by tuning into that space. So,
Yeah. We were not
well,
brought up to believe those things. So it takes a lot of deprogramming and co-creating trust. Like, don't be harsh on yourself. It's not like it gets easy, but like you need support. Like we all need support. We all need play buddies. And Dr. Joe Dispenza mentions how like we can get addicted to certain ways of being because of the chemicals that are like we can be addicted to fight or flight mode. Like, oh, I'm addicted to this hard work game because only when I'm hard working it feels like I'm alive. But like the other realities, the quantum realities, the other possible ways of being are just vibrational based. So if we feel it, we can like tap into that new game. If we regulate, like I can feel ease, and we can like tap into reality where ease is proven to be a value. Anyways,
yes,
rambling
exactly.
again. I can't
No,
help
no, this is
it.
perfect. I'm just totally thankful that you're saying this and it makes perfect sense. So
Okay.
I really appreciate
But
it.
your question was my passion. Well, I hear
Well,
you.
you did talk about your passion
Yeah.
and mission, but I just felt if there was anything else you wanted to add to that, for
Yeah.
what lights you up and what you're passionate about and what it is you come here to do. If you want to share that in a few sentences or in
Yeah.
sounds, whatever resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll first say in words. Abracadabra comes from Evra Kedabra, by the way, in ancient Aramaic and Hebrew. It means I create as I speak. So, abracadabra, speaking the passion, what fuels my heart is to be there as people awaken to how free they are
Wow.
and how easy it could be and how okay it is to feel everything they're feeling. I love being there when people realize that they're totally safe to be exactly as they are in every moment, not only totally safe, but that it's the greatest gift for all. I love being there when people realize that they don't have to actually act and move and be one way, that they can actually shapeshift because they're made out of mostly water and made to play many, many parts and live in different timelines playfully. I love it when people dive to be there when people dive into their most painful places and
Wow.
um and make love to it, basically, like not me but like be there as they realize that that's their greatest gift, their greatest pain, their greatest wound, and how it's all a beautiful shadow light game and that there is no where we're going, that it's all here. I just love being there when people wake up to realizing that they didn't need me in the first place, that it's just a matter of remembering and just being there where they're like, oh, I actually knew this. And they're like, what? I love that moment. I love that moment. Um, being with other beings that are like, and playing, like bring it to the edge. So like if everybody's like into a game, like bring it to the edge. Like what else can we do with our imagination? Can we create something out of thin air? Can we like play it long enough to realize that we can, just endlessly play. So that's what I'm most passionate about, and I do that in various ways now. But I don't feel like it's the right time to like express, because I just created a structure which I'm really happy about. I'm really excited. I did it like 2 days ago. So, but that's the passion. Oh, and then in a sound, can I do it like in a sound and like?
I love sounds, yes.
Okay, but I do have a looper. How much time do we have left?
Well,
Like,
it is wrapping to that time, but
okay, okay,
still,
okay.
I would,
I'm not going to use the looper. I'll just
I
use my
would,
fake guitar instead.
I would love for you to do whatever, and we can connect it in whatever way you feel
Okay.
inspired.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if I could get the looper up. Let's see. I just got this a week ago and it's like changed my life. My mind didn't want me to get it, but my heart was like, yes, yes. And
I love that you're. Oop, I love that you're
uh-oh.
doing. My picture frame fell down. Um,
Oh, excitement. Messes.
it's a bird on there. It just flew a little bit. It wanted to fly. I love that you got the looper. I think it's phenomenal that you're tuning into all these amazing ways of being able to tap into creativity and expression and play. And this is just another part of it. And
My
um,
shirt.
the
Yeah.
yoni,
Oni?
the portal of the yoni looks like the vocal cord to our
Oh.
vocal cords. So it's like this beautiful correlation to that portal of the creative goddess energy and
Ooh.
expression, tuning into our vocal cords and our throat chakra, and
Ooh,
yeah,
yes.
tapping into this space of quantum play and reality
Yeah.
through creative expression and free flowing, which is like totally looper magic.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh
just when I
yeah,
moved to know, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
First of all, if you're gonna yes and somebody's reality, you use yeah. Because
yeah,
yes, if you listen to the sound, it kills the life force, and yeah activates all your chakras, and like you're actually gifting somebody your life force and full attention when you go yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll feel all your chakras vibrate from the bottom to up. And it's actually also the name, one of the names of source in Hebrew, yeah, and it's the number 11, Yud Hey. So I
Yahweh.
encourage yeah.
It's
Huh?
like Yahweh, like when they say like
Yeah,
Yahweh, it's like you're
yeah.
saying your yes, or like Rough
Uh-huh.
Fire, it's like yeah, yes I, but that's a yes, but still the yeah, because ah is the sound of the heart, and yeah,
Uh-huh.
it reminds me of the Yaya sisterhood. Did you ever watch the movie?
Oh,
They're like yeah
no.
yeah, and they're all about magic and play
Is
and
that a
that
documentary?
it's like a movie with like just
Oh.
famous actresses, and but I love
Oh.
that because yes, the Hebrew language is one of the highest, that in Sanskrit, it's one of the highest vibrational languages and the oldest, and it's yes, that space of yeah, yeah, the heart
Yeah.
chakra of love, and yeah, it sounds so affirming. And I
Yeah,
was always told that that was rude, like yeah, but I think it was yeah when I was younger. But yeah, I
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Everything we were told that was rude when we were little, do everything you were told not to do, like crossing your eyes and eating with your hands and like just like all the things they told you not to do it and you will be freed. Trust me.
free the
All
inner
of it.
child in a
All of
healthy,
it.
conscious way,
I mean,
consensual way.
of course.
But yes,
Let's not forget about consent, of course.
I just had to go
Well,
there.
yeah, yeah. I
Anyway,
mean, when it's from the heart, like when
yes.
I don't feel like, because triggering each other can also be a really good medicine. I got triggered from so many people recently, and those were my greatest lessons. So like I feel like there's all this like there could be, everything has a shadow, and in the spiritual community, sometimes like the whole consent thing can actually stop this organic, natural unfolding of triggering each other. So
Oh, I
I've been
totally feel
practicing
that.
and playing with like, oh, give me the trigger, like tell me something that will trigger me, like how do you experience me, like changing our relation to what triggers are, because like we're meant to evolve and grow and expand together, you know
Yes,
but
and
that's only my
the
personal
triggers.
truth,
Oh well,
disclaimer.
I love that. I resonate with that, and I think that the triggers really point back to us at what's really asking to be looked at. Like unless it's
Yeah.
something that's like really harming our reality or feeling abrasive or you know yeah, harmful to our sanity from someone else. I mean, those things are valid, but when it triggers us in certain ways, it can almost awaken us to our deeper truth. And whether that is even to
Hmm.
have a healthy boundary or to be able to talk about something, I think it's very powerful to our evolution. Those triggers, if we look at them, it could be really great gateways to
Yeah.
our own
Well,
empowerment.
that's how we understand. Like, I heard a beautiful term from another favorite teacher, Ken Shambola, who just wrote a book and about primal healing. But he we talked about boundaries. It's like, yeah, your mentor, I call him mentor. He doesn't know I call him mentor, but he's my mentor in secret. It's like boundaries are actually what I do want, not what I don't want. Like I'm calling in, and then if people trigger that, that's like you learning how to refine what it is that you do wish to experience. Otherwise,
Yes.
but no, like Abraham Hicks says, like contrast just awakens what you do want. Like if we're resisting feeling triggers, then we're actually going to be looping in realities. Like my greatest expansion has been with people who have been triggering me, and it's okay to be triggered, and it's okay if, like, you know, the words of, you know, I feel like what creates damage is our judgment about triggering. So like, oh, I did that, and then you loop in a reality as though you hurt somebody, or though as though you know, all the thoughts will create dark fantasy. It will create a dark fantasy reality that you'll experience until you realize that you're okay and you forgive yourself and you did some ayahuasca ceremony and you realize you're good. So
Exactly. Oh my gosh, yes. This is
it's
like,
all, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, okay, I'm really scared, by the way. I don't know. Oh.
For all the viewers watching, this is
okay.
Another form of play.
It's cotton panties. It's fine. It's actually shorts. Okay, it's not like, it's not underwear. Like, oh, doesn't matter. Whatever. I do whatever I want. I'm in my house.
Another layer of expression and freedom. Yes.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm really feeling awkward now, but I'm going to do this anyway. I don't know what I'm going to do, but something's going to happen.
So, this is the extended version of the show. I'm very happy.
Okay.
It's happening right now.
Welcome to my awkward corner, and yeah, I'm just feeling really awkward right now. So I think I'm gonna mostly play with like sounds, like we used to do when you're children, like ah, eh, ee, oh, oh, and then I might throw in a word because like gibberish is actually like light language. Like when we actually go back to the core of like sounds and what sound is, like words are super overrated, and we're probably not gonna be able to survive using English for the rest of our lives. We're gonna probably have to go back to like primal sounds and like weird sounds, and like those are the most medicinal for our psyche. I mean, in my personal opinion, disclaimer. So I'm just gonna like, you know, be weird, be awkward, make some sounds, and like we're gonna see where it goes. I'm really feeling really awkward, even if it looks like I'm really cool right now. So please bear with me. Okay, I got this. Actually, I really am nervous.
Oh.
Okay, here, no, I'm. It's great. I love it. Okay, here we go. It has to be on beat. No, I have to do it again. See, mistakes. We're gonna do this together, yo.
It
has to be on the
progress.
Okay, here. It feels so good to go. You get into an argument, just like do that to your lover, your brother. Can we just do together and see where it leads to?
It's such a good reset.
Just do and see where it leads to. Just go and see what happens. It may be very majestic. You may be collapsing old realities. Here we go. Another sound, yo. Sounds right, right?
Sounds
okay, whatever. Do you want me to make a sound that feels good to you, Brooke, and I'll record it?
Who makes me a sound?
Yeah, like what sound do you want me to make that feels good in your body, and I'll add it to this. Okay, here we go.
Ew.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now. How does it sound? Does it sound okay?
It sounds amazing.
Okay.
It's definitely changing reality.
Vowels go really far, even if you're singing with a fake guitar. Sounds are super medicinal. The more awkward you go, the more freedom you flow. Oh my God, there's an echo and I'm having a... Okay, here we go.
Echo.
Now speak some gibberish light language.
Ooh, yeah.
Sounds very chaotic, this song.
Ooh, sounds great.
Trust endlessly, you and me. Let's create a new reality. Say nay to the games you don't want to play. Say yay to the games you do. Whoa. Oh, it was recording. That's why it's coming. Chaos leads to innocence.
We're making this up as we go.
Trust you must. Ayawa heyana ayawa e. Ayawa anaya hanaya e. I'll just show my butt for fun. Ayawa hey. Brooke, do you have anything to share?
I love you.
Oh, you're in my ears. I love
This is
you.
your conscious speaking. I love you.
I'll just echo you. Just speaking, I love you. I'm just a reflection of you, Brooke.
Yes, and we're immaculate, beautiful beings. And
You're so beautiful.
I see you.
We're
I
so
see all the
beautiful.
beautiful things that you do and ways of being. Even with your cross eyes that you're making.
I'm supporting you.
I'm supporting you. I'm sending you a rainbow from the East Coast to the West
Oh my God.
Coast. Rainbow bridging.
Oh, yes. Let it out. Give it to me, baby. I feel it.
Yay.
It's really powerful stuff, imagination and intention. It really is the AI.
It's so amazing, and just this quantum play of reality shape-shifting and moving through the energy and
my boobs keep flying out.
Okay,
yeah.
I
wore the most awkward outfit for this, but it's great.
I love it.
Awkward.
It's great. Some people will just hear the audio, and some people will see this and
they can imagine.
Yeah, this is
imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Their imagination even deeper of what's happening on the other side, and then whoever can see it can just tune into this like, wow, amazing.
Yeah,
I think you're phenomenal. I know that you definitely stretched the edge, and I'm so thankful that you came on here. And yeah, I mean, the extended version of this show, I'm just curious, like, however length of time, it could be shorter, however long you want to explain, of like what brought you to being in this way and doing the things that you're doing, if you want to share.
You to this I was experiencing horrific depression, and I was very I always had friends. I always knew I had a good time. I was known to be the clown, and I just couldn't stop thinking about, like, why am I here? This is like a horrible place. I don't understand humans. I don't fit in here. And my thing that actually kept me going was, I can always kill myself tomorrow, so why not play today? And then I promised, like, nobody was able to understand me in the state of depression I was in. And all the healers I met and all the therapists, they would like really be fascinated by me because I'd be so raw and like I'm the best student ever. So I'd like do everything they told me to do and like just like totally dive in, naked soul, work with them. And they would be like, oh, you meant to be a healer, kind of bullshit. And I mean, not bullshit, we're all healers. But when I would actually share the depths of my darkness, they would be like, you need to go on meds. And so
Wow.
I know what meds did to my family. I know what medication did to my friends. And I was like, I can always take a pill tomorrow and like be numb. So, and I would tell them, I'm like, this pain feels real. It feels more real than the world I'm living in. Like, that doesn't make sense. My darkness makes sense. I feel like it's telling me something. So I decided to be curious about it and play with it and ask for guidance. And I promised that whatever I discovered, that if it would like work and I would be able to live a free, happy life, I'd share it with as many beings on the planet. And that's what fueled my heart, was like that aspect of sharing. And so I just committed myself to being a lab rat and life being the lab. And it's been very nonlinear. I remember the day where I felt like I was fully committing to this path. I was like a Waldorf preschool teacher and I lived in Tel Aviv, Israel. And I was just like, I already did acting and I already had this, like, I was just felt really like lack of life force, which would happen to me sometimes where I'd just be like, oh, like it feels like I'm dying. And I just laid on my tile floor in Israel and I was just like, I have no life force, no excitement. Like I just really wanted to disappear and like rest and be buried for a while. And then I like this curious question popped up. I'm like, wait, what if this is a gift? And once I asked that, the answer came like, wait, if it's a gift, the gift would be that I discover a gem here, a treasure, and be there for many other people who are experiencing this. And as soon as that answer came, my heart like opened and start pulsing blood into my body. And that is when like I feel like that was my moment of commitment, because I had visions of like creating playgrounds on earth for people to tap into the magic and art of play and silliness. I was always a clown since I was little. My family was very dark. There was like a lot of abuse and depression and poverty, and we always lived in very dense areas, really strictly religious, and war zones, and like New York with there was mugging. And I didn't have any idea of the world being able to be a beautiful place. It was all out of my imagination. And as I imagined, I found myself in realities like where I live now, where everybody's on board. And like, I mean, most people, like I finally met people that are like, yeah, we're here waiting. So it's my passionate purpose now that I've been through the process. I'm still on it. Obviously, we're always growing and evolving. Is that like, I know what you need to go through in order to break through these veils of illusion, especially if you're in a city, you're with people that don't resonate with you. I feel like that's why my soul chose to be birthed into the most densest realities of New York, Jerusalem. LA was very dense for me as well. There are many like looping realities there. And I know I just want to be like, my greatest passion is like to share everything I can with those beings who are ready to die, who are ready to rebirth, who are ready to let go of all these old stories and judgments of what depression is, or like bipolar, schizophrenia. All these are like judgments of treasures. All these
Wow.
traumas are treasures. Like all diseases are gifts. Like if you notice it, it's going to unlock ease. It's like locked up ease. Like the more you sit in the dis-ease, imagine you're growing all this ability to melt into ease. And it doesn't have to be you dying. You can die while you're staying alive. You can be the Burning Man. You can live in a playa within, and you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need anybody. You don't need anything. One thing that would be nice is support, and those people will come to you and you'll just feel a F yes. When that person is meant to be in your life, you don't need to worry about it. You need to look for these people. They show up. It's magical. So yeah, I don't know if I don't remember what the question was.
Wow. No, this is
but
like,
that's how.
wow. Yes.
And also physical ailments I had that doctors couldn't help. And I was like, I'm just going to this doesn't make sense. If it works, I'm going to share it with as many people. But the main thing was depression and the desire to commit suicide. And I even remember one day I looked up on Google, I'm like, the best way to commit suicide. I was in acting school and there were no answers on Google. I was like, Google doesn't want to lose a client. And I realized that the best way to commit suicide while staying alive is you can literally die, let everything die while you still have a body. And I love that. I just love it. I love being there while people die. I'm like, I'm dying. Yes, you are. Welcome to heaven.
Yes, exactly. That old reality of what we were creating can come down, just like the burning, like a phoenix rises from the ashes. It's like shedding that old skin and creating that. And wow, thank you for that share. I mean, even as someone who knows some of your story, just to hear you say it in the way that you did is just so powerful and
Mm.
so alchemizing to that density that you were speaking of. And I mean, I know we definitely come into the world for a reason in the way that we do, and it's our choice to either say yes or no to what is given to us in this way. And really it's always a gift, like you were saying. I mean, all of these realities, there are choices to either stick to, or we can say yes or no to something, and we get to choose. And that's so empowering. And all of that depression that you were experiencing, it's like I look at it like that suppression, like that all those things that felt not okay and in your spirit, like there needed to be something else. It's like there is so much of a gift just inside waiting to be unlocked. And it really comes from like what gives us that spark. And so the fact that you talked about depression, Ralph Smart, did you ever listen to him? He's like,
that sounds really familiar.
Diver. Yeah, he does a lot of like YouTube videos, and he says that depression,
message me his name on Facebook.
Yes, he's always like, Ralph Smart, diving deep once deep
He's
divers
crazy. He's like really dark. I heard him once when I was really depressed in San Diego, and I just like laid down and listened to him all day. I love him.
Well, he says that
he saved my life that day.
Wow.
I found him somehow on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, same with me. When I was in a very dark space of depression and anxiety and fear, him and Gabrielle Bernstein that I mentioned before, they really helped me a lot. So he says that depression is deep rest. It's like it's like there's something inside that's just like in deep rest, that's like wanting to be unlocked. So thank you so much for sharing, and I'm just so happy that you're here and alive to share your life with myself. And
I died a lot. I know that someday I won't have a dense body, but I already been through that stage in odd ways, and death isn't what we think. Death is like always an awakening into new levels of play.
Wow.
I hate to break that to you guys. I know you think I'm crazy. You're like, she still has a body. She doesn't know what death is.
But I've been there, and I know other people who have been there, so I know I'm not totally crazy. And it is stressful to leave your body and come back to it. If you like, when somebody departs from their body, they are actually choosing to go into less denser realities.
Yeah, wow.
But a lot of people are gonna call me cray, but I don't mind.
I think that we all can lose our mind in some way, and I think that's what is the key to unlocking our greatest truth.
Lose your mind so you can embrace your heart.
Find your soul. All of this. And it's like, really, these are the keys. Like when I became okay with like that, the fact that maybe I felt like I was like losing my mind or going crazy, I was always noticing that I was releasing these constructs that were holding me back from like conditioned ways of thinking. And that's what really limited myself. Created this depression and suppression and depression. So being able to ask yourself is so brave and powerful, like what unlocks these keys for you, and then making the choice to go and be where it resonates with you. And therefore you're attracting those people because you're in that space that allows your astral body to expand and move in bigger ways beyond what was bringing you down in the first place. And so that took moving to different places and making new choices for you, it sounds like. And then
I mean, it happened naturally. My body was led into places rather. I didn't really I've never been a big traveler, and I think that now that a lot of less of us are traveling, like there's something of really a very valuable gift that we're all being given to discover that we are our own spaceship, and to discover the magic of quantum reality. And that you can, I was supposed to leave to Costa Rica before this all happened, and I feel Costa Rica vibes now sometimes. I'm like, I feel like I'm in Costa Rica. Like all these places are just different energetic agreements between humans, so we can co-create different countries together. Like, let's experience this energy together. Let's tend to the earth, or let's feel this vibe. Let's feel Bali together. Like we can do that based on how we focus our attention and how we like, you know, how we navigate our current moment, and we can feel like we're in other places, and we can
Yes.
interdimensionally travel. And you don't need gas for that.
Oh my gosh, that's
Um,
so amazing. Yeah, and I feel like there's so many different timelines running, and I
mhm.
mean just even like yes, I've experienced that where certain energies have I felt like I was there, or
Yeah.
there was like some parallel universe of
Uh-huh.
me being there even, or just even being able to like bring that energy to me here, or vice versa. Like it's like that symbiotic relationship, but it's all energy. So I mean, and the earth is speaking to us, and all these places are different portals and frequencies that whether it was in our past or future timeline, and or even just present timeline of tuning into that energy, there's a reason for it, and it's so potent and magical. And you know, being in Costa Rica, for example, I was there a few times, and they say pura vida, like the good life. And to me, that just reminds me of like living in that space of heaven,
Mm.
and our reality of just living freely and joyfully, which is like the root of where that comes from, that expression, and
Mm.
like living
Yeah.
a good life, like in paradise. And
Yeah, people make the choice to not talk about the time there. People make a choice that they're going to go by morning, midday, or night. People make a choice to spend time making food together. People make a choice to plant in the earth together. People make a choice to use different forms of currencies together. And that's what like creates the beautiful reflection of earth around them. That's, I feel like, a reason why like I choose to still be in dense realities, to like play with this, like to see, okay, how far can it go, being present with where you are. Because I kind of feel like we're all octopuses. We all have this like 8 tentacles, eternal aspects, and different timelines that we're in, like the quantum nature of reality. And Gaia, like Earth, is also a multidimensional planet, and we have this ability to go interdimensionally and be present with the aspect that we're playing wherever we're at now, wherever we got stuck because of Corona. Like we're all meant to be exactly where we're meant to be. And it's like going within, and like just like, yeah, being okay with maybe being alone, because all alone is, if you add one L, which is an extra dose of love, it's not L, it's love. It's all one. When you're alone, you can be all one with everybody, because that's where we all meet, in that no space, no time quantum reality, that
yeah,
yin space that we talked about initially. And when we
yeah,
really melt into the depression, it's like a sacred ayahuasca journey. Like our body naturally wants to do ceremony and like retrieve and like stop speaking. We don't need to go somewhere to do that. Like we're kind of shifting of needing something external. I need to do that I need to do, like, our bodies have everything. Like, and yeah, that's all beautiful echo and support. It does help. But like sovereign, like self-sustenance, like we have all this natural pulse, and if we don't fight it, or you know, it naturally happens in a much more easy, graceful, and loving way, which is, I guess, an extra dose message that
most
just
definitely.
squirted it out.
Well, no, but that's perfect, because some of the stuff that you said before, it just made me think like how you were in, I don't know if you said Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, you were like lying on the floor, like with, you needed more like juice in your life. Like there was something that was just dried up, it sounded like, when you were talking about that. And then it shifted to this thought that when we are really tuned into our authenticity and our true excitement and our joy, we're really tuned in, like as above so below, as within so without. Like
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about that space of your heart, you were then blasted open with this new sense of love and freedom when you were really getting led towards like your next level of ascension, of where you were
Yeah.
guided to and what you were focusing on. And I feel like in that space, that's when that free energy just starts rolling in, that toroidal field
Yeah.
starts to open and activate from our
Mm-hmm.
heart space and from our truth and alignment. And that's like that full power energy.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we need to be like going, doing, that's really not even the point. It's just to feel that fulfillment from within. And it could just
Mm-hmm.
be like sitting in our room and reading a book, could feel like we're in a tropical paradise sometimes, because
Uh-huh.
we're just like tuned in to
Yeah.
what makes us happy and brings us joy. So yeah, no matter where we are, what limiting things are happening, or not happening, I mean, we can choose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and another little point is like a lot of the times the people around you will reflect your old version of yourself. Like I had like a lot of us just it's like almost like think of it as a cocoon. Like you're like, oh, am I going in the right direction? And a lot of the time some of us come from dense realities and everybody around you can be reflecting all your fear, like all your fears or all like why, you know, when I was like just melting into being okay with being depressed and letting myself rest and letting myself feel, my friends were like, what's wrong with you? Like, cause they knew me as like a clown, as like a play. And I'd be like, I just need to be alone. And they're like, you're depressed. And I'd be like, I just need to be quiet and alone. Like, and like, there's so much judgment about these spaces. And so I just want to amplify that it's okay to feel all these emotions and that it just moves through us, and to be still with it, to be okay with being bored, to be okay with feeling awkward. It's like that's where it doesn't, you don't have to mentally think your way into what excites you. It's a natural like fun now, and just melt into that lack of inspiration, and then naturally with self-care, with what brings me peace, my heart opens and I'm like, oh, okay, I have all these things I want to share. It's like that reality is there, and to get into it is actually to go within. It's to go deep into the darkness, into the womb, into the yin, into the nothingness. That's where everything is. And yeah, I just wanted to amplify that aspect because that's where all my inspiration has come from. It's been going into deep rest. It's been going into hell and being okay with it. Then again, Kem Shabala, who just got his book out, he's getting his book out, Primal Healing. Like he was the first person who met me a year and a half ago, and I was like telling him like how dark my reality was, and he was like, I can be with you here forever. And he was like the first human that was okay with being in the depths of darkness together. And there were so many treasures there, like so many treasures in that cave. There was a reason I was curious. There was a reason I wanted to feel. And this goes into like many layers of what hell and heaven is and whatever. But like if you feel a calling to like be different than the people around you, to like not do anything for a day or a few days, like, you know, that may be your inner child calling for you to discover magic, and your mind is just telling stories like, you haven't been productive, you're not making any money, you didn't help your family, you didn't go to your friend's wedding, you're a bad person. But like you're just okay with all that nonsense, let it die, be with yourself, and source will just start making love to you. I promise.
Yes, most definitely. And that's like the beautiful feminine energy of just being in the void, like being okay with that space of the void, and that communion with the dark and light aspects of ourselves. I mean, when one is suppressed more than the other, it's like that's when that imbalance starts to happen with disease or pain or fear or anything like that. But when that balance of dark and light is met, then that's really powerful for balance within ourselves. And being able to just like look at it and recognize it and just get curious, like you were saying, and ask, and just being okay to just be there, because in that space of the void, it's like those are when the greatest seeds anyways can be planted, and that's when we can really get to know ourselves deeper, like you were saying. And it's such a
that's where we're one with everybody. We're all there, we're all in that empty space. This is just a dense reality, a video game, but like everything is inside. That's why I'm obsessed with these insights that I use in play shops and sessions, because when we close our external video cameras, we can open up to all that is, which is within, all our abilities within our imagination. So I highly recommend closing your eyes while moving, while making sound, because this external reality is just like the densest form of your internal world.
I love that. I love that when we were at ecstatic dances, like you just put a mask on right now, when we would be at some ecstatic dances when there is no talking, like no talking rule. And it's like you're just dancing and moving, or just not even dancing and just being. But I loved when you would put the mask on, because it really seems like that's a great way of tapping in deeper and not really caring like what other people are thinking.
I mean, they all shifted. If you close my eyes, I'd be like, okay, I'm feeling really dense energy. I'd close my eyes, I felt if people were judging, or like, I'd close my eyes and be like, I'm one with everybody, so what feels good in my body? And I'd move, and then I'd open my eyes and I'd be like, oh, everybody looks much happier. Like, we're all one field of energy, and our eyeballs, we're so addicted to like believing what our eyeballs see, and our eyeballs are super malleable. Like they're video cameras that can be played with too. You don't need to take acid to have you know, the world turned into a kaleidoscope. It's just how we're trained to like focus, you know. I'm not a believer that any of us need glasses. I believe that our eyes adapt. Yeah, you know, I
Yeah.
can go
And
on forever about all these topics.
oh my
Glasses
gosh,
have
no,
changed
exactly.
multiple times.
Yeah, no, it's and like I feel like you and I were joking about having like an ayahuasca experience from just laughter and
Oh my
just
God,
like
that was scary.
yeah, and just and being able to just laugh is such good medicine, and being able to just
Uh-huh.
um tuning it's yeah, I mean I don't know why I was thinking of laughter. Maybe it was something that you just said. But,
Yeah.
because of the you don't even have to take acid or anything like that. I mean, I've had full on like I was tripping on acid experiences without having ever
Uh-huh.
without even taking acid or taking any medicine, just by like that fun and joy and silliness
Yeah.
with literally just myself or in nature or with friends, and
Uh-huh.
it's like blasting off with just full
Yeah.
fun and joy and laughter.
Yeah.
It's
A
like
lot of
really
people like don't want to, it's scary to admit that we have that all within us, because when you say, oh, I was stoned, or oh, I was high, or oh, I was drunk, or whatever the excuses are, then you actually can like keep it as a separate experience from yourself and go back to reality. But when we experience these things without anything external, it could be overwhelming to discover how free you are and how magical you are, and how much power you have within, because that comes
yeah,
along with a lot of responsibilities,
yeah,
responding differently to everything. So, you know, all these things like freedom, sovereignty, they all sound beautiful. It's actually a process of regulating, making normal, feeling, being very compassionate. It's not like riding over the rainbow and hopping on a unicorn and farting together. It's actually like, like being compassionate, being slow, like regulating, like, okay, like it's a gentle process. That we all
yeah.
need each other to support each other in this process. It's very, very delicate.
I love that, most
um,
definitely. Yeah, just
ah,
soothing the up leveling, soothing the evolution, and yeah, however that plays out, just it's
yeah.
so great. And I'm so curious, like where can people find you? I know you're on Facebook and Instagram. Is there any
Yeah.
where you want to share
So
for people to find you?
yeah, so I'm in the process of like creating something more you know, structured, but right now the best place to find me is Facebook. And I'm just, so like on Facebook you can either follow me at Layla Rose, which is my main page. I share a lot there, Layla and then Rose. And I also have a page called Layla Rose Alchemy on Facebook. I've been using that less, so I'm just follow me on Facebook for now. And there, so what I'm doing online, and then I'm also on Instagram, and I'll be using that more, which is Layla Rose Alchemy. And so what's going to happen, if you'd like to join anything on Sundays, I'm going to have raw rambles that are interactive. So I'll choose topics that have been bubbling up within me for the past week, and I'm going to share a live interactive ramble where people can share and ask questions, and just like a free flow. And that's going to be at like around 1:11 p.m. And it will be like, you know, like half an hour long. And then on Wednesdays they're going to be online play shop gatherings with different topics, so you're always welcome to join that. And then I'm going to be releasing a comedy video once a week on Thursdays about, I call it alchemy. So it's alchemy, turning shit into gold, one giggle at a time. So there's going to be short videos with insights on Thursdays. And also I'll be doing open mics and live comedy in different areas once a month. And I actually just wished for it and then it started happening. So you can like stay connected for that. And I'm also doing virtual sessions, and that is totally just, you know, me and you diving really, really, really deep into your remembrance portal. So the best way to reach me is through my Facebook page or Facebook or Instagram, since I'm getting used to that. But there will be something more constructed in the future, and eventually there'll be a community online where we'll be all these alchemist players, and we'll be meeting once a week. But that is for in a few months. So
Perfect. That's so wonderful.
yay! Thank you for holding space for my ramble.
I love your rambles. I think there's
Rambling is like the
brilliant.
new the new
Well,
Bible when we ramble.
Oh my gosh. I mean, to me, a ramble is like the best sometimes because it just
Mm-hmm.
we really can we can really tune into that creative flow, and whatever is wanting to come through can just be expressed. And my name is Brooke. I mean, I'm sure I was given that name, but also I feel like I gifted myself that name as well, through the portal of coming through my mother. And it's like babbling brook, so I understand the ramble, the
Oh,
babble. I completely
family.
get it.
I
And
love
just
your ramble. It's music to my ears. Because we're used to like speaking in linear ways, but now when I hear people like speaking in a structured, linear, logical way, I can only hear energy. So like when I hear you speak, I hear your energy, and like it's non-linear. And you know, like a lot of minds can get confused while listening to me or like listening to you maybe because they're like, wait, where are they at? Because that's when they're operating from their mind. But like I believe we're beings of energy. And when we ramble, it's easier to speak from the heart because it's like not logical, it's not linear, it's not controlled. So ramble away. Ramble
oh
is the
my
new
gosh,
way.
yes.
Ramble is the new hey, and wow is the new now. Wow at anything.
I love
Wow.
wow. Wow. Wow is
Wow. No
the
matter
new
how horrible or
now.
how amazing. Wow.
It's so beautiful. And with that, I feel like we can be so much more present and in the moment to our true, like authentic joy and liberation, and tuning into our inner child through that
Yeah.
now. So that's such a beautiful thing to say.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, that's so cute.
Hi, Brooke. Hi. I just want you to know that this woman is just a piece of poo. But I'll talk about that later. I would love to be interviewed on your podcast. I have a lot to say, a lot more than this piece of poo. But I'll let you two be now, and I'm just gonna wow it off, okay?
Oh, I love your little handbird. I love you, handbird.
She's
Thank
such,
you
I
for
don't like
showing
her at
up.
all. I try to shove her away as much as I can.
That's so
She's
sweet.
here.
Wow, I love having you on
Ah,
here, and thank you so much for talking, and all the
rambling.
things that you've been sharing and expressing. Yeah, I love how you
Oh,
articulate everything so well.
yay!
Yes, thank you
Oh,
for
I'm so
joining.
honored to be the first person in your podcast, and you're my first podcast. Like a
Wow.
how sickly synchronistic can it be?
We really have some really powerful synchronicities that you and I
Yeah.
share. And I feel like when I met you, I was like, wow, she feels like such a sister. And I feel like
Oh,
we're totally, yes, soul sisters. And just talking to you, my cheeks just like get so
my cheeks are really hurting.
just from
I'm
laughing
like,
and smiling from you.
I gotta come see you.
So
Gonna
great.
come when I come on my road trip. I'll visit. I
Yes.
love you. I love what you're doing. Can we make a yawn at each other in the camera or something?
Yeah.
Like, or do something weird?
Mm.
Thing.
Such a powerful way to rewire the
Can we
mind.
make a wish together?
Yes. What is
Beings that are
that?
watching this. When you
Wow,
make a
that is
wish, it
so
does come
beautiful.
true. Oh, yeah, my alien mama got this for me. My
Oh my
35th
gosh, are those
birthday.
roses? Wow. It's like a
Yeah,
carousel rose candle. This is
yeah.
beyond
One
beautiful.
one of my favorite things to do is light. I'm burn away a lot of candles lately. You make a wish, it expands your imagination, it expands your heart, and you can imagine whatever you want and wish for anything you want and be crazy. It's just a wish, so the mind doesn't interrupt it. It's just a wish, so it opens up the heart and imagination, and then you let it go naturally because
Wow.
it's just a wish. And I swear, wishes do come true, boo. So
Yeah,
let's make it a silent or soundy wish without words or something
sounds
together for
fabulous.
all the beings watching this and beyond.
Yes.
Okay.
Lighting up this love candle. Yes.
Mm, okay. Yay! You don't blow it out. You light it up. That's 2020.
Oh,
Blowing out
I love
candles,
it.
wish
It's
candles is so
so
1990 for heaven's
fabulous.
sake.
It's
Yeah.
so fabulous. It's a rose carousel candle. It's like
Anything is possible.
activating love in a candle form. Lighting
Yeah, and
lighting the flame of love.
the rose blooms from the inside out. And
Wow. Oh, what are those called?
When You Wish Upon a Star. Oh, I don't know. Music
Music
box? My
box?
dad gifted it to me. Can you hear
Yeah,
it?
a little bit. Maybe do it closer so everyone.
Can you hear it?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Imagine you
Great.
did. Just imagine.
Wow, that was such a great way to tap into that. It's a music box, that inner child, that joy. What a
When
perfect
you
way
wish
to.
upon a star.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. When you wish upon a
Yeah.
star. Oh, well, Layla, thank you so much.
I
I so
love
appreciate
you.
you, and we will definitely link a little bit more in the description of where everyone can find you. And thank you for explaining that. And yes, oh, hand puppet. Oh, hand finger puppet. That
It's
is so
really creepy.
cute.
I don't like those at all. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
put that
some
away.
of our friends
Just
like those also. I've seen them.
like,
They're funny. Oh my God.
anyway.
You're
Yes,
so
Brooke.
sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
And yeah, to all you beings that watch this, living your unique soul expression through ease, grace, and joy. Source wishes for that to experience you exactly as you are in every moment. You're fully supported in the financial, material, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual realm to do so.
Yes.
Okay. That's my last.
Wow.
And I rest in peace.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for sharing that and activating that truth. Yes.
Yay. Okay, how are we gonna say goodbye?
How are we saying goodbye?
A little dance together?
Yeah.
Like ecstatic dance to the camera?
I want to like brrr, like free flowing movement and sounds Many blessings to you, sweet sister.
Yeah. Speak soon. Love you.
Thank you. I
Bye.
love you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Cosmic Earth Wellness podcast series. Our mission is to bring awareness of mind, body, spirit connection for each person to live a balanced, harmonious life for today, tomorrow, and beyond.